of the changes that has happened in the last quarter century that I think is heartening is that we've come to realize that the actual danger of being attacked by a shark is infinitesimally small. Roughly 12 people, a dozen people around the world are killed by sharks every year. In the same year, roughly 100 million sharks and shark-like fish are killed by human beings. You are much more likely to be killed by bee stings, falling off ladders, automobile accidents, plane crashes, lightning strikes, attacked by rabid bats, and almost anything else you can imagine than you are to be killed by a shark. What has happened over the past 25 years is that sharks have become much more the victims than the villains. There are too many people with too much modern equipment going after too few fish and catching most of them. Sharks are caught on a line and their fins are slashed off. The living animal is cast back into the ocean. It dies automatically. It can't swim, it can't guide itself, it bleeds to death. The waste is enormous. It's 99% of the resource is being wasted. I have swum in a nature preserve off Costa Rica called Cocos Island and seen the bodies of sharks, the corpses of finned sharks littering the bottom of the sea. It is one of the most horrifying sights I've ever seen. Compared to bony fish species, other fish species, the reproduction rates of sharks is very, very slow. Great white sharks, just as an example, the theory is that they don't breed until they're about 20. They seldom pup more than 3 or 4. But there are fish that lay millions of eggs. When you kill an adult breeding shark, you destroy generations upon generations of sharks that will fulfill the community because there just are not that many of them. They don't reproduce enough to maintain the species. The loss to the world, to nature, would be both aesthetic in that these are wonderful animals that have survived for hundreds of millions of years virtually unchanged, but also very practical, because if you take the apex predators out of the food chain, nature will be out of balance. We need to respect the animal for its place in nature, not to regard it as a resource that exists only to serve our instant needs. Of all of the countries in the world, only 4 have any shark management in place. We need to have every country in the world have some sort of shark management before they're all wiped out. I can't stand the thought that we or any would become the generation that destroys 400 million years of evolution. It should not happen. It must not happen.